Good day, everyone. I am Mary Jane E. Iso, and I am the second reporter of our topic, poverty. And now, let's proceed to the theories of poverty. Theories of poverty offer various perspectives on the root causes of economic hardship. While some focus on individual characteristics and choices, others emphasize broader societal structure and global power dynamics. This exploration delves into the four prominent theories: the culture of poverty, dependency theory, human capital theory, and structuralist theory, providing explanations and illustrative examples. The first one: culture of poverty. This theory posits that poverty is perpetuated by a set of values and beliefs passed down through generations. It suggests that individuals living in a poverty develop a distinct subculture characterized by fatalism, present orientation, and lack of trust in institutions. These values, according to the theory, make it difficult for individuals to escape poverty even when opportunities arise. So, according to Oscar Lewis, an anthropologist is credited with popularizing this theory based on this research in Mexico. He argued that poverty creates a cycle of deprivation where children learn these values from their parents, perpetuating poverty across generations. So I have here three examples. The first example is lack of educational aspirations. So in order for us to understand what is culture poverty, so lack of educational aspirations, children growing up in poverty may not see education as a path to upward mobility, leading to lower levels of education attainment and limited job opportunities. So the second example is present-oriented decision making. So, individuals living in poverty may prioritize immediate needs over long-term planning, making it difficult to save money or invest in their future. And now let's proceed to the second theory, the dependency theory. So, dependency theory argues that poverty in developing countries is a result of their unequal relationships with wealthy nations. It suggests that global capitalism creates a system of dependence where poor countries are exploited for their resources and cheap labor, while wealthy countries benefit from this exploitation. So according to Raul Prebisch, an Argentine economist, is considered a key figure of the development of this theory. He observed that terms of trade for developing countries had deteriorated over time, meaning they received less for their exports and paid more for imports from developed countries. So I have here also examples. So the first one is colonialism. So historical instances of colonialism where European powers extracted resources from their colonies contributed to the economic underdevelopment of many countries. The second one is neo-colonialism. Even after decolonization, developing countries often remain dependent on wealthy nations through economic and political influence, limiting their ability to develop their own economies. And the third theory is human capital theory. This theory suggests that poverty is caused by a lack of education, skills, and training. It argues that individuals with higher levels of human capital, such as education and job skills, are more likely to earn higher wages and achieve economic success. And according to Gary Becker and Theodore Schultz, economists are considered the primary developers of this theory. They argued that investment in human capital, such as education and training, can increase productivity and economic growth. So just like for an example, unequal access to education. Individuals from low-income backgrounds may have limited access to quality education, which can hinder their future earning potential. And the second example is lack of job training. So individuals may lack the skills necessary for in-demand jobs, making it difficult to find employment and escape poverty. So now let's proceed to the fourth theory, the structuralist theory. This theory emphasizes the role of social structures such as discrimination and inequality in creating poverty. It argues that poverty is not simply a result of individual failings but rather embedded in the very fabric of society. And according to Karl Marx, a philosopher and economist is a key figure of the development of this theory. He argued that capitalism creates a system of class conflict, where the wealthy exploit working class, leading to poverty and inequality. So, example, racial and gender discrimination. Individuals from marginalized groups may face discrimination in employment, housing, and education, limiting their economic opportunities. The second example is lack of affordable housing. So high housing costs can make it difficult for low-income individuals to afford basic necessities, trapping them in poverty. So to sum up this topic, theories of poverty offer diverse perspective on the complex issue of economic hardship. While some emphasize individual factors, others focus on broader societal structure and global power dynamics. Understanding these theories is crucial for developing effective policies and intervention to address poverty and promote social justice. I think this is the end of my part, and my co-reporters will further discuss this topic.